that Munchie, that Munchie pressed him, and I asked him like over what, and he said over Nova, over threatening Nova. And I was like, damn, what he got to do with it? Like, basically, I was trying to figure out what was his connection to Nova. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was just having a conversation, so I didn't elaborate on everything so everybody could understand because he understood what I was asking him. And then I made the statement of she belongs to us. Now, mind you, he did say something that made that statement worse right behind that, which was, yeah, she property of the gang. Look,
Yeah,
I
I
ain't no
took it like
pimp.
you guys were
I'm not no
joking, but I could see how other people could take that as like, wait, what did they say? But I didn't. I took it like you were
what,
joking.
what I meant what I meant by that was Nova Daddy is from my area. You
Yeah,
feel what I'm saying? She comes from my area. So of course we know who her daddy was because that was the whole thing was who is her pops? And he was like, you could tell Adam who her pops is and you will go viral. And I'm like, damn, how do everything like we and they want how do we know who her pops is? And how do we know that she working with the feds or whatever
yeah.
information
I
that we
think it was
saying?
more the comment that you guys said that she's a snitch, like her daddy, and the dad is apparently a known snitch who never had a put off. He's still from his hood. He still like is actively from there.
Certain niggas fuck with him, certain niggas don't. You feel
What's
me?
his name
And
again?
his name Infant Rudolph. He got mad. He hit me up and said whatever he said. Look, bro, nigga, I ain't tell you to tell him nobody, nigga. Like that's on you. You made that decision. Everybody know what's going on, bro. Don't sit here and act like you know what I'm saying. It's a secret or nothing like that, bro. So it's like me. Everybody know where I'm at. Do I get mad when a nigga say you PC or when a nigga say you on that EOP or you around PCs? No, I don't get mad about that. I just defend my position. So I stand on the shit that the choices that I made and the shit that I did. I stand on that. So I'm not gonna cater to a nigga feelings that's hitting my DM talking about whatever he talking about. Bro, you know what you did. Everybody know what you did. So that's on you. You feel me? That's with as far as that go. Now, when I said that she is snitch, of course she is snitch, her or whatever I said about her being snitch in connection to her dad, this is what I meant. What I meant was if you're 14 and you're working with the federal government to bring down somebody, I can guarantee you that's at the advice of your parents. And it's easier for you to do so if your parent, one of your parents, already has a connection with the law. You feel what I'm saying? So it's easy. Like I'm pretty sure you probably got in trouble and he advised you to do this, or for whatever reasons you did this, you did this. Now I'm not people saying, well, she's a child and she shouldn't be held accountable. I'm not saying she should be held accountable. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying her parents need to be held accountable. Her mom was a piece of shit. If you ask me, she going on a world tour talking about glorifying this teenager, you know, being a prostitute. That's who I feel like should be held accountable. If anybody, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you know, I never said Nova should be held accountable. I think Nova should be canceled.
I
If you
think
in my
even if
opinion.
her dad is a known snitch, I think what she's doing is completely different. And I don't think he's even in her life like that. I think it's if she is, it's more of the advice of the mom. And what Wack was, I think, saying is, um, if you're a known prostitute and then your daughter becomes a known prostitute because of you, because she's looking up to you, they're gonna take all your kids away. So you don't really have a choice but to cooperate. Do I feel like she is? I don't know. I don't know, but without her mom's permission, they wouldn't be able to have her do anything. So, like, do I think her mom is cooperating? Probably, but the mom's not a gangbanger, so it wouldn't even be called ratting. It would just be cooperating because a lot of prostitutes they end up having to do
So
that anyway
let me
for
ask
their
you
own
this. Look,
safety.
I ain't no pimp. I'm not no pimp. I'm not. Never did it. Never even dibbled or dabbled. None of that. I don't do. I fall in love. You feel me? I ain't that.
I mean,
So
pimps
I
fall in
can't
love
really.
too.
Huh?
Pimps fall
You
in
say
love
what?
too.
They do. But what I'm saying is this, right? I'm not talking about Nova. I'm just talking about in general. When you a prostitute, you got a set of guidelines that you agree to too, just like a gang member, right? You should not be telling on anybody if you're a prostitute. And I'm not talking about Nova. I'm not directing this towards her. I'm talking about in general. Nova is a child. Whatever her influences to do came from somebody else who had a lot more sense than her. That's all I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
it. You feel me? I'm not saying she should be held accountable. I think Nova should be canceled. I think nobody should do interviews with Nova. I think Instagram should continuously take her shit down every time she put it up. I think all this jail bait she posting pictures on Instagram and all that. I think that shit should get flagged every single time. I think everybody who sees should report it. I think Nova should not be on the internet glorifying being a prostitute at such a young age. I think she shouldn't even have a voice. That's my opinion.
But what if she's actually, because I've seen her like having girls hit her up asking her for advice, and she's actually telling girls not to do what she's doing. So
Yeah,
maybe
you can
she's
say
kind
that.
of the what not to do, because other girls could look at her and at least learn, like, don't be that, because I don't think she's promoting it in a way where she's like, come do it with me. I think she's more like letting people know she didn't really have a choice. This fucked up thing happened to her, but don't be like me. Because I've never seen her promote it, but I find it crazy that she's selling content over Instagram because that's child porn. Like, if you think the government doesn't have access to her Instagram, 1,000% everyone that's paying for her content will go to jail. And if they don't, that's
Okay,
fucking
but
crazy.
so look, this is what I say, right? I understand that she's not promoting it. I'm not blaming Nova in no kind of way. Let me make that clear. I want to say that again. I'm not blaming Nova. She's a child. Whatever she's doing, I can guarantee she's getting influenced by an adult with a lot more sense. But whatever you get on the internet and say, and when you get so much attention from it, it does not matter if you say don't be like me. It don't matter because what do people want and what do people
Oh,
chase
because
now?
other girls will look at that and be like, I want attention. Like, is that what I got to do to become famous? So,
Right. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a
yeah.
bad look. It's a bad look. That's why I say I don't think that she should even be on the internet because no matter what you say, don't be like me, don't do me, don't do it. You still are on here and people are little girls are seeing it and they see you getting so much attention from it. So much attention from it. So what make them not want to do it? You showing stacks of cash, you showing different shit, like you doing all of this stuff and it to somebody that's easily influenced, it can look appealing. So I think it
Yeah.
shouldn't be around.
So I personally, I mean, being on that live with you guys, like I said before, I don't think he did it intentionally where he like, and I get what you're saying when you feel that way, but I think that after 2 hours, the third hour, we were like, we should have stopped after two. The third hour, we just kept going, going. And I think it just happened by accident where these are already his friends. So, it's like every time I go live, my regular friends that I speak to every day, they're going to probably hop on and try to request. So I think it was more like, he just saw an opportunity like, holy shit, we got 50-50 on on with somebody on the level 4 in the same live. That doesn't happen. So maybe he was more looking forward to the conversation that could have possibly happened. But of course controversy is going to sell, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah. So let me say this, right? I'm gonna point out to the reasons why I believe that. uh, I'm gonna point out the reasons why I believe that it was an ambush, and we can have a conversation, a normal conversation on a live that I can kick him out when it get weird. I'm not gonna go on his live no more because he got control of his live and who he bring in, and I don't respect that. Until we get an understanding, it's only on lives where a nigga have more control. So where he get too much or he could not bring in certain people like because I'm not gonna play that game. I'm not one of those dudes who or argue back and forth. People hitting me up like, damn, bro, why you was so calm? It's because I'm always calm. That's my demeanor. I'm not gonna let nobody really take me out of my character. It's gonna be very rare. I'll be chilling. So the reasons why, the reasons why I believe that it was an ambush or it felt like an ambush to me is because right before, right before uh the live, which if we being honest, if we telling the truth, he asked me multiple times to come to the live. He asked me to come to the live. Before that, he asked me to come to the live. When I seen you in the live and I seen how animated he was, I tried to join your live so I can
yeah.
bring him down because I'm a familiar face and I was gonna be like, hold on, wait, put that to the side for a minute and let's talk about this, and that. I was gonna do that because
I didn't even know. I thought you pressed the
I wanted
request by accident because you never go live. So that's why I didn't even know. Like,
right.
had you texted me and
I
let me
just start
know,
doing
but
this shit. So on my face and all that. I just start doing this shit. And people that are making me low key bring it out because with the Fobang situation and with the exposure that we put on Baby Moose,
Yeah.
it started a big conversation. And then especially now with Lil Sonny talking, it started a big conversation. You know what I'm saying? To the point to where now all Moose homies is trying to get it back right and get him back to the line. Fobang, I think the consensus is that they dirty politics. And when you say that he got dirty politic, that means somebody dirty politic them. So the niggas who dirty politic them, of course they don't want me talking. Of course they don't want Fobang to have a voice. So of course they gonna run a smear campaign. So all these different things is getting said about me, and because we basically started by me going on the live with Whack 100 and explaining it the way that I do and talking about it the way that I do, we basically started a conversation or opened it larger. So now it's all over. So I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to start a conversation or help start a conversation. And then once the conversation is taken off and everybody talking and want to talk to me, and I just like shut down. No, I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So